Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here, and when you think of politics, usually you kind of think of, hypocrisy, right? I mean, it's something that comes up a lot when people think about politics. Well, a recent story that's grabbed a lot of headlines and has been trending everywhere is Hillary Clinton's recent comments about Bernie Sanders. Now, if one forgot, going back to 2016, obviously Bernie Sanders was running against Hillary Clinton for the Democratic ticket. And by the end of the run, he had to forfeit his candidacy and ended up supporting Hillary Clinton, which shocked a lot of people because, I mean, he was very much anti-Hillary. He was calling out Hillary a lot of the debates. But as politics go, it's all a thin veneer, and at the end of the day, you submit or you die, basically. And Bernie Sanders ended up tearfully and obviously not wanting to, but tearfully supporting Hillary Clinton. Well, fast forward all these years later and look at this hypocrite. Hillary Clinton, as this article notes, claimed that nobody likes Bernie Sanders. Now, this article says here, paging pot, this is kettle. Nobody likes him, Hillary Clinton says, of divisive Bernie Sanders. Now, I'm not going to claim that there isn't some level of divisiveness among the Bernie Sanders campaign. People like Bernie Sanders. I've confronted Bernie Sanders before. You know, guys, that I'm not a statist. I don't support statism. I support freedom, and I don't believe in slavery. But I do have to note that in many ways, Bernie Sanders was very much anti-establishment, though just his way of handling it was more government, unfortunately creating a perpetual system that led to the same spot that he was protesting from. So I do have to note that, but I mean, when you compare Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, there's the old guy that loves, communism, as he has in the past, as he did in the Soviet Union when he said he respected their system and thought it was very efficient and all that kind of stuff back in the 80s. But also, you compare that to Hillary Clinton, and it's like, Epstein, Clinton body count, threatening a bunch of women that have come out against your husband, calling, black people super predators. You know the list. It goes on and on and on. And Hillary Clinton's crimes are extensive. Her shadiness with the Clinton Foundation, with Haiti. I mean, we could go on forever. It's not the 2016 election. I think she's rather irrelevant. But I think this story is kind of hilarious considering the level of hypocrisy that we've all gotten so used to in the political field. Let's get into this article here. As it says, two-time presidential also-ran Hillary Clinton hasn't dropped her grudge against erstwhile opponent and current Democratic frontrunner Bernie Sanders, and her comments on his likability have triggered a backlash from all sides. Clinton excoriated her former competitor as unlikable and ineffective, telling The Hollywood Reporter that nobody wants to work with Sanders in the Senate in an interview published Tuesday ahead of a 4-part documentary due to premiere at the Sundance Film Festival. Well, there's one I'm going to be missing. As it continues here, it says, while the former Secretary of State has long blamed Sanders as well as Russia, former FBI Director James Comey, WikiLeaks, actress Susan Sarandon, and dozens of other entities for her 2016 election loss, Tuesday's attacks comes on the heels of several polls placing Sanders at the front of the 2020 primary pack in key demographics. As it continues here, it says, more controversially, at least in part, for whom Trump has taken on mythical Antichrist-like qualities, Clinton said she would not commit to backing Sanders if he is nominated to face off against President Donald Trump in the 2020 general election. And I quote, I'm not going to go there yet, she said in response to questions over whether she would vote blue, no matter who, after eviscerating her former Senate colleague as a career politician who got nothing done. I should have read that in like a witch's voice. I mean, the career politician Hillary Clinton, you were the wife of the president and then became a senator, and basically your whole life has been trying to get to the top of the political realm, like the show House of Cards, which is loosely based on you. Career politician. Look, Bernie Sanders is definitely a career politician. There's no doubt about it. A different kind, not one that I support, not one that I like, but nonetheless, for Hillary Clinton to call Bernie Sanders a career politician, I mean, it's just like exactly as the title says, calling the kettle black. I mean, it's just it blows my mind. And remember, this is the same person who claimed that Bernie Sanders is divisive, and also her slogan was stronger together. And during the last election, she was attacking anyone who wasn't supporting the main, party leader or whatever. And here we go again, back in a circle. And now she's like, oh, I'm not going there yet. I'm not supporting him. And he's divisive and all that. It's just, I can't even take it. It's almost too much to handle. But let's carry on in this article here. It says Clinton made a point of going after the Vermont senator's supporters, accusing his online Bernie bros of a relentless attacks on lots of his competitors, particularly the women. Hillary, you're gonna call someone else out for going after women. The same person that took down Believe All Women from her website, which I don't agree with the line, but nonetheless, Believe All Women from her website, because Juanita Broderick came out in interviews with Wham and other medias back in 2016, calling her out for attacking women who came out against her husband. About 80 people, about 80 women generally have come out and said that Bill Clinton either assaulted them, sexually harassed them, or raped them. So this whole thing about women, I mean, you got to shut the hell up, Hillary Clinton. You might be a woman. That doesn't mean you're a professional or you're an expert at women. You have ruined more women's lives than most men have. So carrying on here, it says, in an attack reminiscent of her infamous basket of deplorables campaign speech, which dismissed Trump supporters as bigoted rednecks. Whether she forgot about her longtime strategist David Brock's 2016 initiative to deploy legions of paid barrier breakers to attack Sanders supporters on social media, or merely hoped the reader had forgotten that ugly episode, wasn't clear. The Sanders campaign has never been accused of paying trolls to smear the senator's rivals, however. Carrying on, it says, even when criticizing the Sanders campaign as divisive, Clinton echoed Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren's out-of-left-field claim that Sanders had told her a woman couldn't be president, a bombshell Warren dropped before the most recent Democratic debates, which shattered an unspoken detente between the two candidates when she all but called him a liar to his face on national TV. Clinton reminded the audience she'd won the popular vote against Trump, a familiar line, but one that Sanders himself used to defend himself against Warren's charges. This idea that Bernie Sanders told Elizabeth Warren that women can't be president, it's hilarious. Look, I don't support his politics at all, because I don't support politics. I support freedom. But it's not logical, it's not moral, whatever. None of these guys, none of the candidates are. But this notion is just, it's making me laugh because it's so absurd. Yeah, Bernie Sanders is going up to someone like a government paid for PBS special or something, going up to someone and going, you can't be president, you're a woman. Like, that didn't happen. That's the most desperate, ridiculous claim. It can't even. Anyway, carrying on, it says commentators on social media pointed out that Clinton might not want to try to go head to head with Sanders on likability. The Democratic Socialist from Vermont was rated highest in Morning Consult's most recent Senate poll, while Clinton herself was disliked by more than half the electorate, even when she was running against Trump. And as it continues here, others pointed out that when one moves in Clinton circles, likability at best abstract and at worst irrelevant. And there's a whole bunch of tweets here. I do want to note, though, what this kind of led to was this hashtag. It's the #1 hashtag as I report this, called hashtag I like Bernie, because a lot of Bernie supporters are like, what? Seriously? Well, this is the reason that we didn't go out and vote for Hillary Clinton last election, despite Bernie supporting her, obviously at gunpoint, was because she is a wicked... I can't actually say the word on YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, carrying on, it says, as Michael Malice said on Twitter under that hashtag, he says, by this point, what can you say about Hillary that Samantha Bee hasn't said about Ivanka Trump already? Hashtag I like Bernie. And of course, Michael Malice is an anarchist. But I mean, anyone could see that this is absolutely absurd. Anyway, I do want to finish off with this out of Zero Hedge. At the same time as she's saying all this stuff and being a complete hypocrite, she claimed that hypocrisy is everywhere in the same interview and defended her relationship. Wait for it. with Harvey Weinstein. So, as she said in that same interview, asked if Clinton had any regrets about her long friendship with Weinstein, she replied that she and her aides had no idea that he was a sexual predator. She said, and I quote, "How could we have known?" Clinton said. "He raised money for me, for the Obamas, for Democrats in general, and that at the time was something that everybody thought made sense." Well, that was a great explanation of your long friendship with people that are not only rapists, but pedophiles, and like your husband going on the Lolita Express 27 times, ditching Secret Service 12 times. We recently reported on that with photos of him on the Lolita Express with one of Epstein's sex slaves. And on top of that, went to their ranch at least once a year in New Mexico after claiming they didn't really know each other very well. Same with Kevin Spacey. Wow, Hillary, you sure do hang around with very progressive people, you know, rapists. I mean, progressive towards rape. Anyway, she finished off in the interview. She said, I love the word gobsmacked because, yes, look, hypocrisy is everywhere, Clinton said. Look at the current occupant of the White House for lesson A. And Hillary Clinton was never heard of again. Well, at least I hope. Anyway, this is just another lesson in not just hypocrisy, but the game of politics. The house of cards, if you will. This notion that these people are just attacking each other to lie to the public in the best possible way to be able to enslave them under the collective guise of whatever terrible idea that they might have on left or the right. Either way, it's always a politician saying they know how to lead you best. Imagine being so not just self-obsessed, but psychotic that you actually think your ideas are so good that they deserve to be forced on everyone and you can rule over the populace, a whole country. It says a lot about a person's personality, and I honestly think it's a trait of, like I said, being psychotic. But when you have these people, again, 51% ruling over the 49%, good ideas don't require force, guys. And these people are hell-bent on ruling over the populace. Look, your idea might be great. It doesn't mean that it should be forced on everyone. My ideas might be great. It doesn't mean I should be able to force those ideas on everyone. It's just a battle to enslave, just under half of the population, or if not a little bit more. I mean, in Canada, it's even worse in that sense, with multiple parties and split up into tiny pieces. But the point is, it's not moral, it's not logical. There's better voluntary ways that you can actually utilize on the free market, shake hands with people, not point guns at people. And I think that is the most important thing to come out of this with. But these people are so out of touch, and it's showing. It's a reality show. It's all just hijinks of a, Survivor-like reality show where everyone, you and I, we are the butt of the joke. We're the pawns that they sacrifice for the king and the queen, and it's all just a battle for power over the populace. And I think that we should all be waking up very fast from this. I mean, we saw it on the right. We're seeing it on the left. We see it on both sides. It's just a collectivist paradigm, and cancer cannot cure cancer. They're coming in to solve the problems they created in the first place. So I don't know, maybe in the future we can stop depending on these same entities to solve those problems, and maybe look to ourselves and look at ourselves as a community, voluntary, shaking hands and figuring things out for ourselves instead of having an organized crime mafia pointing guns at our head and deciding what's best for us in our everyday lives, stealing more than half of our money to pay off the interest on the debt and killing millions of people, including hundreds of thousands of children in the Middle East. I don't know, that might be a little extreme. I don't know, maybe I'm getting too far along here, but I feel like fraudulently printing currency out of thin air and then charging us the interest on the debt, even though it's causing inflation, causing most of the poverty we see today, I think that's probably not a good thing. Also, killing kids overseas in countries that you armed and funded terrorists, probably also not a good thing. But again, it's 2020. This is extreme. I can't talk about this stuff anymore. And exactly why you guys should check those links below and hit the like button on this video, because we are heavily censored and demonetized here on YouTube. We can't even reach people anymore. It's actually absolutely brutal. So make sure to check those links. GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribestar. Join us on float.app. That's flote.app. The new social media network replacing Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon, all in one with encrypted messaging, so there's privacy, monetization on videos, so incentive for creators, and on top of that, super chats in live streams, no algorithm that tells you what you can or cannot see. So go join that. That's flote.app, float.app, and we will be there as YouTube eventually takes down our channel. We've got a lot more on the horizon, folks, so stay tuned for more here at Wham. Check out our Teespring store and get our t-shirts, our merchandise, whatever, and share the video. Anyway, I appreciate everyone joining us today, and we'll be back at you with much more. Stay clear of the hypocrisy of politics. It's all just a game, and you're always going to be the loser of that game. So anyway, be free, don't be a slave, and until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change. Like what you see here at Wham, don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We cannot do it without you guys. Every donation is extremely, extremely appreciated as we're getting incredibly shadow banned. We've lost 80% of our audience since January of 2019 and counting. They are ripping us apart here on YouTube, and the only thing we could do in the meantime as we prepare for the next big step is to ask for help from the viewers that support our free information that we try to post on a daily basis. You can also find us on Subscribestar, where just $1 a month, that's all it takes, $1 a month is all it takes to truly make a huge difference. If everyone gave $1 a month, it would change everything for independent media, and we could win this information war, and we can defeat the mainstream medias eventually. And of course, on Subscribestar, we post subscriber-only content that you'll only see on Subscribestar. So make sure to pledge there, become a patron. That makes a huge difference, guys. And also, don't forget to check out our Bitcoin address below in the comments and description, as well as on the screen for you to scan, if you please. And also, don't forget to subscribe to us on the alternatives. We will likely be deleted by YouTube in the next 2 years. It's already happening on a vast scale, so make sure to find us on flote.app. That's flote.app. at Josh Sigurdson, as well as at Wham, W-A-M. Float.app is replacing every social media, and I mean, it's just incredible the opportunities it provides for not just creators, but for the average person who wants to get away from these nannies telling them what they can or cannot see. They plan to replace Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon. You could subscribe to us on Float and pledge with cryptocurrency. It's really innovative. We are also on BitChute at World Alternative Media, as well as so many others, Minds, PocketNet. You can find us at World Alternative Media on Instagram. There's many options. And finally, don't forget to join us at Anarchapulco 2020, the famous event, the best liberty event known to mankind, other than perhaps Anarcho Vegas 2020. There are 2 major events coming up that we are extremely excited about, and you can use promo code WHAM, that's W-A-M, and save 10% on your tickets to these legendary conferences. There's so many amazing people speaking there. You won't want to miss it. So make sure to support in any way you can, even if it's just sharing our videos, pressing like, pressing to be notified. Anything helps, folks. You are the change you wish to see. Thanks for watching, everyone. And until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.